The next thing I'm going to show you is the blind hem. So those of you who are still sewing hems in by hand, I don't want to admit how long I did that before I knew that I could do that on my machine. If you're still doing them by hand, I'm ready to change your mind about that. So the blind hem stitch is right here, and it's stitch number 12, so I'm going to touch those two numbers quickly in succession. The biggest, the most difficult thing about this, I think, is folding the fabric. So I've come up with my own little technique. So from the wrong side of the fabric, what I do is fold up and press my seam, my hem up where I want that hem to be. Then I fold my main fabric back and away from the hem so that I have about a ½ an inch or so to stitch on. And then what's going to happen is that the needle is going to come over and just grab a little bit of that fabric for me. Now, depending on where that grab goes, I may or may not need to adjust my foot. This is still asking for the 3A foot. I've got the IDTs still engaged, tension between 3 and 4, so I'm going to move that up a little bit, make it a little higher. And I'm going to stitch a little bit and see where I am. Oh, I'm way too far, way too close to this. So there are a couple things you can do. You can either adjust the foot, or you can actually just make the stitch a little narrower, which is what I'm going to do. And let's see if I'm a little closer. I've taken it down to 3.5, which is a little better for me. Might still even be a little bit too close. So I recommend that, especially if you're using different kinds of weights of fabric and so on, that you take a piece of fabric at least similar to the type of fabric that you're going to be sewing on in terms of weight, and practice with it. So you can see I was way too close over here, and I got a little bit too close on some of the other ones. But I caught all my stitches, I believe. Yep, all but one, it looks like. And some of them you can't even see. Even though I'm using that bright orange thread, neon orange thread, you can't really even see it on the pink. So with a little practice, you can make beautiful blind hems.